You're sitting in a coffee shop with your college friend, you both graduated the same year, same degree, same GPA, similar internships. She just bought a condo, you're still living with roommates. She's talking about her vacation to Japan. You're wondering if you can afford new tires for your car. And you're thinking, what am I doing wrong? We started at the same place, but you didn't. 3 years ago, when you both got your first job offers, she started at $58,000. You started at $48,000. Only $10,000 you told yourself, I'll catch up. They said there's room for growth, but what nobody told you, that $10,000 didn't stay $10,000. It's $23,000 now and it's growing every year because your first salary isn't just a number, it's an anchor, and it's dragging down every salary that comes after it. I'm Sam, and today we're talking about the career math they don't teach you in school, how your first job salary sets a ceiling you'll spend years trying to break. Why just work hard and the money will come is terrible advice, and what you can actually do about it, whether you're negotiating your first offer or trying to escape the trap you're already in. 3 years ago, you and your friends started your careers. She negotiated her first offer up to $58,000. You accepted $48,000. Grateful just to have a job. 1 year later, raises arrive. She gets 7% on top of a higher base. You get 7% too, but the gap grows. She upgrades her apartment. You're still splitting rent with roommates. Then you both switch jobs, chasing bigger raises. She's pushing towards 6 figures. Your jump feels meaningful, but it still leaves you behind because every promotion, every raise, every job switch multiplies from the number you started with. That first salary isn't just a starting point. It's a gravitational anchor pulling every future paycheck down year after year. Most people have no idea this is happening. They think hard work alone will catch them up, but the math is brutal, and there's a way to fight it in the rest of this video. I'll show you how to break the anchor, reset your salary, and finally start closing that gap. What happens in most job negotiations, especially first jobs? The recruiter asks, what are your salary expectations? And you, after 4 years studying philosophy or engineering or marketing with zero training in negotiation, say something like $45,000, but I'm flexible. The recruiter nods, says they'll get back to you. 2 days later, they offer $47,000. You're ecstatic. They went above your ask. You feel like you won. You didn't win. You got played that role, had a salary range, maybe $45,000 to $60,000, depending on experience and negotiation. By anchoring at $45,000, you save the company $13,000 in year 1 and every percentage raise after that. Meanwhile, your friend says she's targeting $60,000 to $65,000 based on market research and starts at $58,000. Same job, same qualifications. $11,000 difference, because whoever throws out the first number sets the anchor. And companies are very good at making you say it first. What are your salary expectations? What's your current salary? What would it take for you to accept? These are not neutral questions. They are fishing for your anchor so they can lowball it. Once you've anchored low, you're stuck because the next employer asks what you're currently making. And even if you lie, which is risky, you're still mentally tied to that number. Companies know this. HR departments build strategies around it. It's not evil, it's business. They want talent at the lowest price possible, but nobody taught you how to play defense. Let's talk about the thing they told you when you accepted that low offer. We know it's a bit below market, but there's tremendous room for growth here. Work hard, prove yourself, and we'll take care of you. Sounds reasonable, right? Start low, prove your value, get rewarded. Except here's what actually happens. Year 1, you work hard, you exceed expectations, review time comes. Your manager loves your work. You get 3% raise. On that $48,000 salary, that's $1,440 annually. $120 more per month. Before taxes, that's maybe $85 extra in your paycheck. You're disappointed, but your manager explains, company policy caps raises at 3% for first-year employees. But next year, once you're established, we can do more. Year 2, you work even harder. You take on extra projects. You prove you're indispensable. Review time comes. You've done amazing work. We're giving you 5% this year. That's above average. 5% of $49,440 is $2,472. You're now at $51,912. Still below where you should have started. Meanwhile, your friend who started at $58,000, with the same 3% and 5% raises, she's now at $63,394. The gap grew from $10,000 to $11,482, despite you both working equally hard and getting the same percentage increases. Room for growth doesn't mean catching up to market rate. It means growing from whatever low base you accepted. The room has a ceiling, and that ceiling is based on where you started. The only way to break the ceiling, leave. Modern careers don't reward loyalty the way they used to. They reward leverage. Imagine two versions of you. In the first version, you stay, you show up early, you take on extra work, you wait patiently for review season, your manager praises you, you get a raise, it's 3%. Next year, maybe 4%. If you're lucky you get promoted, it feels huge, but the increase is still calculated from your current salary, from the same base, from the same anchor. 5 years pass, you feel experienced, more confident, more capable, but your paycheck hasn't moved the way your skills have. Now imagine the second version of you. You do solid work for 2 years, then you leave. You walk into a new interview process not as a hopeful graduate, but as someone with experience, someone with results, someone who knows their value. The new company doesn't see your loyalty, they see market value, and market value moves differently. Instead of 3%, it's 18%. Instead of a polite adjustment, it's a real jump. A few years later, you do it again. Another negotiation, another reset, another leap. 5 years in both versions of you have worked hard, both have grown, but one is earning dramatically more. Not because they worked harder, because they re-entered the market. Switching companies forces your salary to be evaluated against external demand, not internal budgets. But here's the part most people miss. Even the job hopper can still be stuck, because when the recruiter asks, "What are you currently making?" your answer quietly sets the ceiling. If you started low, your big jump is still anchored to that low beginning. You feel bold asking for $60,000, but if you'd started higher, you'd be asking for $70,000 for the exact same role, same skill, same experience, different baseline. Job hopping accelerates growth, but if you don't reset the anchor, you're just moving faster from behind. So the real question isn't whether you should switch jobs, it's whether you know how to reset the number. Everything is being calculated from, that's where most people lose tens, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that's what we fix next. Let's rewind to that first job offer. You're 22, you get the offer, $48,000. Here's what you should have done. Step 1, shut up. When they ask, what are your salary expectations early in the process, deflect. Say, I'm more focused on finding the right fit and opportunities for growth. I'm sure we can work out fair compensation once we both know this is a good match. Or say I'm looking for a competitive market rate for this position and my qualifications. What's the range budgeted for this role? Make them say a number first. The first number sets the anchor. Don't be the anchor setter working against yourself. Step 2, research the actual market rate. Not what you think sounds reasonable. The actual market rate. Use Glassdoor levels. FYI, pay scale industry reports. Talk to people in similar roles. Find the range. For that first job, the market rate was probably $52,000 to $62,000 depending on location and company size. Step 3, when the offer comes, negotiate. They offer $48,000. You say, I really appreciate the offer and I'm excited about the role based on my research into market rates for this position and my qualifications. I was expecting something closer to $57,000. Is there flexibility in the budget? Notice what you didn't do. You didn't accept immediately. You didn't feel grateful and take whatever they gave you. You didn't apologize for asking. You stated research-backed facts and asked a question. Step 4, don't tell them your current salary when you go to your second job and they ask, What are you currently making? You have options. In many places, it's illegal for them to ask. You can say, I prefer to focus on the value I'd bring to this role rather than my current compensation. What's the range for this position? If they push, say my current compensation is part of a total package that's difficult to compare directly, I'm looking for X based on market research for this role, never give them your exact current number. It anchors the negotiation in the wrong place. Also remember, salary isn't the only number that matters. Benefits like bonuses, stock options, health coverage, and flexible work can add tens of thousands over time. When negotiating, include these in your calculations. They can make a low anchor less painful or make a higher offer even more valuable. Okay, but what if you're watching this and thinking, cool, Sam, I already accepted the low offer. I'm 3 years in. I'm anchored. What now? You have 3 options. Option 1, the internal promotion jump. If you like your company, look for opportunities to switch roles internally, not just get promoted in your current role, but move to a different team or department. A lateral move can sometimes reset how your value is evaluated, especially if the new team has a different budget and different pay band. Option 2, the external reset. Leave seriously. If you're underpaid and you've been there 2+ years, your fastest path to market rate is switching companies. But this time, you negotiate correctly. Research the market rate for the role you're applying to, not what you're currently making. When they ask your salary expectations, anchor high based on market research. Make them negotiate around your number, not the one from your past. Option 3, the skill stack escape. Sometimes you can't just jump to a higher salary because your skills are anchored too. If you started in a low-paying role, you might need to strategically add skills that command higher compensation. Marketing coordinator learn data analysis and SQL, become a marketing analyst. Customer service rep learn basic coding, become a technical support specialist. Administrative assistant learn project management, get certified, become a project coordinator. You're not just job hopping, you're role hopping into higher paying categories. This takes 6 to 12 months of focused learning, but it breaks both the salary anchor and the role anchor. Most people will work for 40 years and never realize they were negotiating from the wrong number. Now you won't. If you want to understand how money leverage and career strategy actually work, not how we're told they work, that's what this channel is for.